All right, let's get started. Start Burks. Miss Mary. Miss Mary.
Yes, Your Honor.
Davidson, please turn your video on.
Sorry about that, Your Honor. My camera had to be unplugged and plugged back in, apparently.
Well, your client's having issues connecting.
Felix, you want to try unplugging and plugging back in? That worked for me.
He can't hear you. His audio is not connected. There we go.
There we go.
We're on the record in 23 CCR 233179, State of Texas versus Felix Burks. We're here for a motion for early termination. Go ahead, Mr. Davidson, with your argument.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Burks has successfully completed half of his deferred adjudication. He's completed all the terms of his deferred adjudication. So we're asking the court to allow him to recognize the progress that he's made and let him to move on with his life and get forward with focusing on finishing up his last semester of school so he can move on with his life.
State your position.
I would like to check with probation if he's delinquent on any conditions.
Probation.
The state would defer to probation on this, Judge.
So you're unopposed.
Unopposed, Your Honor.
All right, I'll grant the motion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Burks from his probation.
Thank you, Your Honor. He also had the court cost. You said you would, when he did the plea, said you would waive them if he was still enrolled in school. I've submitted his proof of enrollment to both the state and to the court earlier. For the last time we tried to have this hearing, we asked the court to waive his court costs that were outstanding.
Granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you and your client are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cornish. All right, we're on the record in 24 CCR 238588, State of Texas versus Shante Cornish. Ms. Cornish, please turn your video on. Okay. We're here on a motion to modify bond conditions. Ms. Waddell, your argument.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Cornish has been offered a plea bargain where she is to get her license and the case will get dismissed. She's been trying to get an occupational license, but it costs money and she's having difficulties being able to afford to do that, as well as paying for the fees that she has while she's on bond, and she was asking the court to, if the court will waive those fees, to give her some time and opportunity to get the money together to get that occupational driver's license.
So she has a drug testing fee and she has a $40 a month fee as well.
Yes. And it's not a drug testing case. I mean, well, all the cases are, but it's a driving while licensed and invalid case. So there's no drugs or alcohol that were actually involved.
State.
The state would be unopposed to any type of modification on this. Again, defense counsel and I have come to an agreement. In the event defendant gets an ODL, the case will be ultimately dismissed. So if she does need, I guess, time to gather the money for the ODL, any type of financial relief would be beneficial.
All right, I'll remove her condition for, are you agreeing to remove the condition for drug testing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And to meet with CSCD per month as well? Check in?
I would prefer she check in, but I'm amenable to removing the UA condition.
So Waddell, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll remove the drug testing condition. All other conditions shall remain in place. That should give her some relief financially.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I do not have an order for your motion though, Ms. Waddell.
I will get that to you before the end of the day.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Who? Ms. Who right here?
Hello,
Ms. Scott. Can we get the
Judge
interpreter
Morales.
video on? There we go.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Ida Shaw, the
Good
Mandarin
afternoon.
interpreter.
All right. Let me go ahead and get the interpreter sworn in.
Yes.
Have Ms. Pooh here in the courtroom. Hopefully you'll be able to hear her just fine. Real quick, we're on the record in 23 CCR 236853, State of Texas versus Xiaoyo Hu. Ms. Shaw, if you'd raise your right hand.
Yes, Your Honor.
You solemnly swear or affirm that you will truly and accurately translate from English to Mandarin and from Mandarin to English, so help you God.
I do, Your Honor.
You'd state your full name and license number for the records.
Yes, Your Honor. Ida Shaw, IDASHAW, and my master level license is 639
Thank
in
you.
Mandarin.
All right, we're gonna have to take this slow today, just
Sure.
because of the way we're situated right now. So Ms. Scott, I'm gonna ask you for an update, but try to pause, give the interpreter time to interpret every couple sentences or so.
Okay, so we are at a point where I do believe that we will be getting this case resolved without a trial.
我想我们今天应该会在一个立场，就是说这个问题在此应该可以解决，我们不需要开审。
I have received an offer from the prosecutor and I have tried to relay that to Ms. Hu.
那所以呢，我现在已经从我们的检察官得到了一个可能接受的条件，然后呢，这个条件我现在已经给蒲小姐了。
I have also asked my client to provide me with some documentations so that I can authenticate some matters which I believe to be relevant to the disposal of this case.
那所以呢，我现在也要求能够取得一些文件，这些文件可以进行认证。得到这些文件之后呢，也许我们就可以把这个案子解决了。
And once I do receive those items from my client, I will share them with the prosecutor in hopes of disposing or working out the case.
那当我收到这些文件或者我们要求的这一些项目，从我的客人这里得到这些之后，我会跟我们今天的检察官进行分享，希望在如此之后，我们今天的案子可以得以解决。
That's all I have.
好，这就是今天Scott 律师讲的话。
Hey, do you have anything else?
Nothing else from the state, Your Honor.
好，对方也没有任何的答辩。
All right, Ms. Scott, thank you for the update. You and your client are free to go. However, don't leave your case. Mr. Jimmy Scott is next.
Yes.
Ms. Shaw, thank you for the interpretation. You can finish up the interpretation.
好，那今天我们这个就在此结束。Your Honor, I don't see anybody listening though. Is my witness somewhere that I can't see?
Let me move the camera so you can see better.
But as long as she can hear me, that's fine. Just want to make sure that, okay, I can see her now. I'll go ahead and verify that whether she heard everything properly and accurately and she understood. How about that before I leave?
That's fine.
蒲小姐，我刚刚给您翻译的，你都听懂了吗？有没有任何的问题？
没有。
All right, she does not have any questions, so we're good. Thank you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, Ms. Shaw, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Jimmy Scott. We're on the record in 23 CCR 445, excuse me. State of Texas versus Jimmy Lee Jackson Scott. Ms. Scott, if you'd give the court an update.
Yes, the prosecutor and I have been talking. I do believe we have a way to work this case out. However, it will cost some funds that my client is trying to acquire. And once those are acquired, I do believe that we will remove this case from your docket.
Do you think it's going to be resolved before the next court setting?
I do believe so.
Next court setting is on December 19th.
Yes, it will definitely be resolved before then.
Okay, very good then. Thank you, Ms. Scott. You and your client are free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good weekend.
You too. Fajardo. Ms. Pizzurro?
Yes,
There
Your
we go.
Honor, sorry. Good afternoon.
Go ahead and get us on the record and then I'll swear you in. We're on the record in 23 CCR 236663, State of Texas versus Ever Aldi Fajardo Lopez. Ms. Pizzurro, if you'd raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will truly and accurately translate from English to Spanish and from Spanish to English to help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
You'd state your name and license number for the record.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Pamela Pizzurro, license number LCI 2431.
Perfect. All right, Mr. Zuniga, I'm going to get an update from you on this case, but please take it slowly and pause every couple sentences to allow Ms. Pizzurro to interpret everything you're stating. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. So the update on this case is that we have a plea agreement.
Sí, Su Señoría, en este caso tenemos un acuerdo de declaración de culpabilidad.
So all we need to do, Judge, is get a plea date that works for both me and my client.
Entonces, todo lo que tenemos que hacer, juez, es conseguir una fecha que pueda funcionar para mí y para mi cliente. Tengo el 24 de octubre a la 1:20.
Does that work for you?
¿Está bien con usted? Sí, Su Señoría.
All right. October 24th at 1:30, I'll see both you and your client in my courtroom.
Muy bien, el 24 de octubre a la 1:30 lo veré a usted y a mi cliente, a su cliente, perdón, en mi sala.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you,
Gracias,
Mr.
juez.
Finnegan. You are free to go. Ms.
Ya se puede
Pizzurro.
retirar. I have one more, Your Honor.
Mr. Fajardo, you're free to go.
Señor Fajardo, ya se puede retirar.
All right, Vega, Esteban Vega.
Here, my client's here.
We're on the record in 23 CCR 236-719, State of Texas versus Esteban Vega. Ms. Pizzurro, you're still under oath for interpretation purposes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Interpret everything being stated here. All right. Mr. Barrientos, why don't you give me an update?
This afternoon, we entered into an agreement, so we're gonna do a thing on this. I would ask for if it were possible, like tomorrow, this Friday, I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Sí, su señoría, con la venia del juez hemos llegado a un acuerdo y me gustaría pedirle a la sala si es que es posible tener una fecha disponible para el día de mañana, viernes.
Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
Mañana en la mañana a las 9 de la mañana.
Okay. Have the paperwork ready to go.
Muy bien, tengan los documentos listos.
Just a point of clarification, I have a translation form ready to go. I can give it to someone or I can.
Give it to Sarah. Ms. Pizzurro, are you available at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning?
I will be, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna need
You're
you
welcome.
here. Mr. Barrientos is going to submit his ISR form.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes the case. Do you want to just tell him he's free to go?
Señor Vega, ya se puede retirar. Eso es todo. Mañana a las 9 de la mañana.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you. Like
Thank you.
always.
Just sent you the plea paperwork.
Don't go too far, Mr. Barrientos. You're next. All right, we're hearing cause number 23, CCR 231-511, 23 CCR 231-501, and 23 CCR 231-504. State of Texas versus Jeremy Christopher Does. Barrientos, give the court an update.
Yes, sir. The prior PA had not made me a formal offer. The new DA did make me an offer sometime this morning. I just read it about 10 minutes ago. And have had a chance to think. I will make a response to the state as soon as I get a chance to talk to my client, probably next week sometime.
Okay. Your next court setting will be pre-trial conference on January 2nd. See you then. You're free to go. Thank you for the update. Zavala. All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 236-703, State of Texas versus Michael Zavala. Mr. Overstreet, would you give the court an update on this case?
Yeah, first and foremost, Judge, sorry about my attire. I'm at the doctor's office. I have a family member that's here seeing a cardiologist, so bear with me.
Fine.
I left a message for Colin this morning and sent him an email. I believe my client's intent is to accept the state's offer. I was just verifying what the state's offer was because I wanted, if the court would entertain this, to put it on the docket for next week or in the next couple of weeks to plea it.
All right, State, do you want to answer his question first?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Overstreet, the state's previous offer was a 12-month deferred offer. It was a $500 fine with court costs, standard DWI conditions. But I did receive your message. We've just been in and out of docket all day. I do apologize for not getting
No
back.
worries. No worries. Yeah, and I mistakenly told him that I thought it was time served. Judge, I guess for now, can we just go ahead and if we have to try it, I'm ready to go. I don't see this as a trial. If you'll just let Colin and I, within the next 24 hours, figure out what the actual offer is, accept it, and I'll move it up and get it done. I know the client is anxious to get this resolved. We're not going to wait on the murder trial. If you recall, he's also a witness in that case. But it looks like, I looked it up today, there's a writ of habeas corpus that's been filed. I don't know when that's going to go down, so I'm not going to wait any longer on that.
Sure. That's fine. Y'all figure it out and what you want to do. We can try to squeeze you in maybe Tuesday next week. If not, definitely on the 24th.
Perfect. I'll get on it.
Very
And
good.
Mr. Overstreet, just please send me an email with any, I guess, concerns you may have, or points of contention on this matter, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. You're free to go. You and your
Thank
client. Elisa Bacala.
Hello.
Right there. There she is. We're on the record in 22 CCR 228593, State of Texas versus Elisa Bacala. Mr. Bennett, would you give the court an update?
Judge, I think we reached an agreement. We've got some plea papers that we forwarded to her electronically. We have not received them back, but there may be some technical difficulties. I hope. My understanding is
Are you all set for a plea yet?
we are not set for a plea. We can do that. I got up a jury trial 15 minutes ago before I came to church.
I tell you what, let's give you a little time to get everything together. How about 10/24 at 1:30 p.m.? Does that work for you?
Yes, perfect.
All right.
9 o'clock.
1:30 p.m. Does that work for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think we have to have the papers in 24 hours ahead.
You don't have to anymore. Just make sure, just have them ready to go when you walk in.
Did you hear that, man? Oh,
Ms. Bacala, did you hear your attorney?
No, I didn't.
Pick up, is that microphone on?
You said, so is it 10:24?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Did you hear me now?
Kind of.
Better?
Yes, much better.
Okay, the papers that we forwarded you, I hope you received them. Did you receive them?
I'll take a look. When did you send them? Would that be recently? Would you be able to resend it, or else I'll
Yeah,
have to go
today.
back and look?
Yes, ma'am, we will, but we've committed to you to doing the plea agreement on October 24th at 1:30 p.m. in this court live.
Okay, so, and is it the same thing that we talked about before?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, so I just need to sign something?
Well, we need to sign, we need to go over the papers, make sure we're all understanding everything.
Okay, so am I supposed to be there on 10:24, I guess is my next question.
10/24 with those papers, and do we have your email? Has your email changed since in a
No,
month?
it's my last name dot first name at gmail.com, pacala.elisa@gmail.com.
Okay, we'll resend that today, but the papers have to be completed by 10/24 at 1:30. And you need
Okay,
to
I'm gonna
be here
be there at 10 on the 24th.
at 1:30 p.m.
Okay,
live.
okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
okay, in person. All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bennett. You're free to go. You and your client both.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Borrow. Barrow, would you turn your video on, please? We're on the record 23 CCR 236-799, State of Texas versus Marvin Barrow. Ms. Alanis, if you would give the court an update.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have spoken to the prosecutor on this case. I believe we're really close to coming to a resolution on this case for a plea disposition.
State?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for the update on the case. If you reach an agreement, you need a plea setting, let Sarah know as soon as possible. Our plea dockets are filling up quite fast this month.
Yes,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Y'all free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ybarra. You may. We're on the record in 23 CCR 236-833, State of Texas versus Jacqueline Ybarra. All right, Mr. Stevens, give us an update.
Yes, sir. Plea agreement, I have plea paperwork. I wanted to know if it's possible to bring Ms. Barr back in the morning and plea her tomorrow morning.
How many do we have set already tomorrow morning? 2, 3? All right, we'll take one more. That's fine. All right. She will plea tomorrow morning, be here at 9 a.m. Have you sent him paperwork yet?
Yes, Judge.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. You're free to go.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Mr. Segura. You're casual today.
Judge, I'm out of town and I forgot I had this on the schedule.
Okay. Mr. Mathen, would you turn your video on, please? Thank you. All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 236-768, State of Texas versus Simon Mathen. Mr. Segura, would you give the court an update?
We have a plea date scheduled for October 24 at 1:30.
I don't see that on the docket here. You're at, okay. All right. Thank you for the update.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Free to go.
Thank you.
Mr. Mathen, you're free to go.
I'm ready when you are, Judge.
Mr. Flores, turn your video on, please. All right, we're on the record in 23 CCR 236-745, State of Texas versus Oswaldo Flores. Mr. Stevens, you can give me an update.
Judge, at a point in time out of the same incident, there was a felony pending, which has now been resolved with the dismissal. So this is all that's left. He's been offered a probation, but I believe that there was some monetary issues relating also to his indigency and his illness. So when they made the probation offer, we are not opposed to probation, but we're going to have to tweak it severely because of his disability and his quite serious health issues. It may even have to turn into possibly just a time served. He's no longer able to drive. He will never drive again. He's very ill. So we will tweak this plea they offered, or come up with a whole new thing as soon as possible and get rid of it before we even get to the next setting.
You want to go ahead and put it on a plea docket, maybe 3 weeks out, 10/29, October 29th, at 9 a.m.
I don't see what, let me open my calendar. It's right here. I don't see why not, but
Okay, let's
yeah,
go.
I'm working that day. 10/29 is fine. We'll have got it resolved and able to do that on that day for sure.
Perfect. All right, y'all are set for a plea on 10/29 at 9 a.m. I'll see you and your client in person.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I had. Appreciate it.
Free to go.
Does the state have, did I say anything that wasn't quite accurate?
No, Mr. Stevens, I have nothing to add. Just please send me an email with, I guess, your revisions or recommendations as to a counteroffer.
Okay, I did, and I sent it to Nicole. Is that the wrong person to have sent it to?
I will be taking over all of Court One's docket, so please just forward it to me.
I'll send it to you what I sent. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Waddleton, turn your video on, please. We're on the record in 23 CCR 237029, State of Texas versus Christopher Waddleton. Mr. Stevenson, would you give the court an update on this case?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Judge. Apologize for not making it out there yesterday. We've got a bit of a bug going around our office. We're all kind of managing. So, Judge, we've got the discovery. We've received confirmation, I believe, that the drive we dropped off is now ready for pickup. Is that correct, State?
No, I've never received a hard drive from your office. There's 330 gigabytes worth of discovery. I just
Okay,
need a
then
hard drive.
is it possible it got misplaced? I personally myself dropped that hard drive off to the secretary, wrote the cause number, the DA's name, everything myself. I vividly remember doing it. It was sitting on my front seat for about a week before I dropped it off.
When did you drop that off?
Over a month and a half ago, at least 2 months ago.
Okay, it never made its way to me. I will check with our secretary.
Guaranteed. It had a pink sticky note on it. It said my name, Brian Levine's name, the defendant's name, the cause number, and I believe I wrote the ADA's name on it as well.
I will check with my secretary, but I never received a hard drive from your
What
office.
what I can do is this. I'll be out there tomorrow morning on other business. You could check and let us know. We can arrange to have another hard drive dropped off and copied so we can pick that up early next week. We can review everything and we'll be ready to go on this.
Okay.
Okay. Let me give y'all some time to figure that out. Next setting is on January 2nd. That's the pretrial conference. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Rutherford, there we go. Mr. Torres, are you there?
I'm here, Judge. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, just can't see you. There we go.
Okay.
All right. We're on the record in 22 CCR 226654, State of Texas versus Mason Rutherford. Mr. Torres, would you give the court an update?
Sure, Judge. We have an agreement in place. We just need a setting to do the plea.
In 24, October 24th at 1:30 p.m.
Okay, Mr. Rutherford, is that a good date for you, sir?
Mr. Rutherford, you have to unmute yourself to speak.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed the October 24th for,
Yeah, at 1:30 for your plea. Is that date acceptable to you, or do you have a
yeah,
conflict?
that would work.
Okay, very good, Judge. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll see you both in person on that date.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Move on to the next case. For Phillips. Okay. And Gonzalez. There's nobody at all in the waiting room. Yes, sir. I have several people in the waiting room. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Tevin Dingle. Have we received any email from Mr. Caesar?
Last time I got hold of him was last time I came here.
He didn't appear last time either.
Then I've been trying to get a hold of him since then, like texting and calling him, so I got no response.
Can you give me the name for the next person on the appointment wheel? Class B misdemeanor.
Right, it is. Keto Hurt.
Thank you very much. He's being appointed to cause number 21 CCR 225153. Tevin Dingle is the name. Kendrick Caesar is being removed.
What was the person's name? I'm sorry, Jen.
Tevin Dingle, Dingle.
Got it. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Do you have Mr. Hurd's contact information? Removing your attorney, Mr. Caesar, and appointing Keto Hurd. He will represent you from this point on.
Get a hold of me first, or should I text him first?
Call him. You're free to go.
I'll find out next court date through him.
Hold on. Next court date is December 19th. It's a pretrial conference. It's on your docket control order that you received on 8. What date did you get it? August 1st. That document you got a copy of has all your dates on there. You're free to go. You too. Lorenzo Williams case? Which case is that? Okay, well, let's go ahead and what's the cause number real quick? I need to bring them in. Are you certain?
That was for next week. But it's on the DCO says that then it's on this. I also thought that it was for next. Yeah.
Won't let me walk it in? Says it doesn't exist. Correct? Bring him in. And when is he set? Technically?
24th is when I have this. Odyssey has it on my docket.
What does the docket control order say?
Morning, Your Honor. Oh, good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Good afternoon. Mr. Williams, would you give the court an update on your case?
Yes, sir. We haven't received discovery just yet. I told my client as soon as we receive discovery, then I will go over that with him.
When is discovery compliance? Oh. Okay. All right, well, you state.
I'll share discovery, Your Honor, as soon as I can.
Okay, let's get that taken care of. When's his next dates? When's his pretrial? All right, Mr. Williams, December 19th, pretrial conference. I'll see both of you in my courtroom.
Yes, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you. All right, do we have Gonzalez Rivera? Motion.
State moves for bond forfeiture, Judge.
Bailiff.
No answer at 3:16.
New bond set at $4,500.
Yes, Judge.
I don't see any bond conditions. Is that correct?
I don't see any bond conditions either, Judge. State would ask for standard conditions, Your Honor.
Okay. New bond set at $4,500. Standard conditions are in place.
Yes, Judge. Jacob, you said it was 3/16? 16.
All right, that concludes our docket.